Peace and love, peace and love. Peace and love, everyone. Just wanted to hop on real quick and have a conversation with you all. Give y'all a few seconds to pile in, rejoin. Thank you so much for joining. Definitely want to share out this broadcast. Just want to hop on real quick and talk about a few things. Pardon me, I'm driving and I was looking for, I thought that I grabbed a bottle of water to bring with me, but I think, oh yes, thank you. Whew, I was moving so fast. I thought I forgot to grab my water when I left out of the house. I had to run an errand. To go and get a photo framed because I don't know if you all remember me telling you my grandma passed away last month. Where am I going? 85 South. My grandma passed away last month. She was 100 years old, and I came across this picture of my father. I think in the picture he was maybe 17 or 18 years old, and my grandma was really, really young in that picture too. Peace and love, everybody. So that's one of the younger pictures that I have of her, and it's just it's three people in the picture, but you can't see who the other person is in the photo. So he had asked me to get that picture framed for him, because she's not with us. It's so amazing because I remember her always being there, like always being there. She was there forever. She was 100 years old. She would have been 101 next month. So I miss her. Definitely miss her. So I wanted to hop on real quick because I've been getting some questions, and I just wanted to hop on and just provide some clarity. Some of the questions are similar in nature, but I still just wanted to hop on because I was trying to make sure that I get everyone's questions answered, because I don't have the capacity to answer individual questions. So the best way to get your questions answered, I think the rock just hit my windshield. The best way to get your questions answered is inside of the Facebook group. I'm still working through my emails. I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss anyone's email. I think I've pretty much responded to the majority of emails that I have, maybe 70%. So if I haven't responded to your email, bear with me. I am getting there, and I am still on the hunt for an assistant. Thank you to those that have sent their resumes. I will be looking at those this week, and yeah, I'll be looking at those this week. So, and I'll be responding back to whomever sent me a resume. So please be patient. And thank you all so much for sending that information to me just so promptly, because you all are just the bomb.com. You all are the bomb.com. So, yep. So I have to run over here real quick, go and meet one of my business partners to get something squared away. But yeah, everything is good. Everything is good. I probably won't be able to mail this picture frame out until tomorrow, which is fine because my goal was to have it out to him by Friday. So I'm ahead of schedule. But yeah, so these questions, I am actually working on putting a trademark video together now. to walk you all through how to complete the trademark, because I did have someone specifically ask me about that in the class on the 3rd. So I am working on that, just to give you all sort of like a guide to how to get your trademarks done. A lot of you may already know how to do it. It's not that difficult to do, and actually the the USPTO website actually gives you some instructional videos on how to get that done. So I'll definitely drop, I believe I already dropped the main link in the Facebook group, but I'll go ahead and drop the link to those instructional videos as well. But they literally walk you through the entire application, right? Yeah, they walk you through the whole process. Now, with the trademark, just to give you something to prepare for, right? They're going to ask you for specimens. What is a specimen? They define a specimen in multiple ways. But two of the ways that I think of a specimen is, of course, I'm thinking about whatever the merchandise is that you have the mark on. So like I was explaining in the class, basically what I did is I went to Vistaprint and I just ordered something with my full legal name on it, just to make sure that I covered the requirements in terms of the specimen that they're going to ask for the trademark application. They do have it on there where if your mark is a domain name, they allow you to provide the domain for the mark. So like, first name, middle name, last name.com. That's what that would look like, right? So like what I did is I just went and I created a Square account, because I didn't really want to have to pay for a domain. I mean, I own both domains I don't want to have to pay for a website is what I meant. I own both of my names, maiden and married name, in terms of the domain, but I didn't want to have to pay for another website because I already have multiple websites that I'm paying for. So in order for me to satisfy like the criteria to reflect that the mark is being used in commerce, basically what I did is I went to Square and I just created a Square store, which is free. And you connect it to your bank account, either for your sole proprietorship or for whatever business account you're using, or whatever account you have, right? And so that alleviates you having to pay hosting fees for a website, because what you're going to do is when you get your merchandise from Vistaprint, you're just going to either take a picture of it or use the little thumbnail that they give you inside of Vistaprint. Like you can log back into Vistaprint and click on previous orders, and so when you click on the previous orders, it'll show that you ordered a t-shirt, a mouse pad, a tote bag, a pen, a coffee mug, whatever it is that you ordered, to show that the mark is being used in commerce. I would probably order like 4 or 5 different items, right, with your legal name on it. So once you receive that merchandise, you can post, you can put your items for sale on the Square site. You can literally put your items for sale. Now, this is, again, for the purposes of satisfying the specimens that they're going to ask for. You can either provide them with digital specimens, or you can provide them with physical like specimens, like pictures of your t-shirts and stuff like that, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you all are following what I'm saying regarding the trademark. And this is something that you can actually begin to work on now, even though you haven't the trademark application yet. You can go ahead and get these items now, so you can be prepared, for when you're ready to submit. Because I highly recommend getting the trademark on your legal name. That's just more ammunition that you have to use. We'll talk about that inside of the group. It's just, I think it's important. There's a lot of people out here that are teaching, that they recommend that you go ahead and get your trademark. I definitely highly recommend it. You're going to want to put aside at least $250 for your trademark at minimum. It's going to be they allow you to like choose these different designations, right? So you can choose a designation for a t-shirt or a pen or a tote bag. Each different type of specimen is $250. So if you choose 4 specimens, then you're going to end up paying $1,000. So I would just, do like one specimen, like a t-shirt, something like that. But the reason why I ordered multiple items is because I wanted to have a variety on the website to make it look like a real website. You get what I'm saying? That's why I ordered 5 items. Right, so I'm just thinking outside the box. Hold on one second. That's just thinking outside the box. So, that's about the trademark. I keep getting this question about the DBA. Someone asked a question, I can't remember where I saw it, but someone specifically asked a question about specimens. It was about specimens because I guess in some counties or states, you guys can't see me, I'm sorry. The sun is getting me in my eyes. Some counties or some states require you to submit a specimen. And when you think about the specimen, think about how I just explained the trademark, right? So if you're going to file for a DBA, they want to see the use of the name. That's pretty much what they're asking for. They want to see the use of the name somewhere, right? So look at the directions for your county or for your state to see what are acceptable forms of specimens, because I can only tell you what I've seen while filing a trademark application. But if they're asking for specimens for your DBA, you're going to want to look to see what is an acceptable specimen. And if you don't see it on the application, you're going to want to call somebody, right? So they may want to see a logo, or they may want to see, I don't know. You just have to look and see what the requirements are, because you may not necessarily have a product-based business where you can provide a physical specimen. Does that make sense? You may have a service-based business where all you have is your paper. So a specimen, I would think, would be like maybe a sample contract with your, I don't know, with your logo on it, or maybe your website. You could still do a Square website, because on Square you can still you can sell digital products. Everything on Square is not a physical, tangible product. You can actually list services on Square as well, right? You can actually list the description and what the cost is going to be on Square. So that's a free website that you can use to do what you have to do in terms of getting the mark for your specimen. And I also recommend calling your Secretary of State, because most Secretaries of State have trademark divisions as well. And just a suggestion. I'm just saying. Just a suggestion. Okay, so that was a question that I was getting about the DBA. Someone else asked a question today. I think I already responded to it via email. They were asking, what was the question? It was about the DBA. Oh, they were saying that it's not called a DBA. And so I think I previously stated that it can be called a trade name, a doing business as DBA, or an assumed business name. That's the 3 that I know of in terms of a DBA. There may be other names out there, but look for those 3 in your area. Yeah, just look for those 3. Now, class closer to the first week in October. I can't believe this month is already halfway over. It's absolutely, definitely being sped up. I don't know why I've been feeling like this for a while, that the days are definitely shorter. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn, because you're like sticking out in the middle of the road. That's not safe. Time has definitely sped up. Some way, somehow, it feels like these days are speeding by. And it's not enough time in the day to do what you have to do, because by the time you look up, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I get up early. I'm up at 5:15. Sometimes I may take a little nappy nap, because you know how that can be, but a little naparoo, like they say on the little TikTok. It's like, yeah, a little naparoo. But it really truly feels like these days are speeding up. And every day I'm constantly having to make sure that I'm hitting multiple items per day to make sure that my day was fulfilled. But it's really just not enough time. Like, seriously, not enough time. It's just not enough time. Hold on, I'm about to park in a second. I'll be able to look and see what questions you guys have in here. Purposely, I have to meet her in a little bit, so I figured I would take some time while I'm waiting for her to come out to chat with you guys. It was just a storm here, like literally a few minutes ago. Now it's like it never happened. That's the one thing about Charlotte. It be cracking me up. 1 second it's a storm. 1 second it's like the ground is dry and everything. It's like it never happened. All right, park right here. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, let's see what y'all got in here. I wonder if it's gonna let me see. All right, let me scroll back to the top. Hello, hey. I'm trying to understand why when I get to looking at them, they always disappear. Yes, Marie Hill. Yes, ma'am. That's I'll probably do that in October. Sometime in October. Hold on. I'm going back to the top. My explanation of 15 USC, how to resolve a billing error. Yannick, when you say you need a follow-up, are you speaking of as in from the video that I did on that topic? Hey, friend. The Facebook group is Ready Nation. If you go to the about section of this channel, all of the information is in there. I don't think I have the link. I don't have the link on hand to drop it in the chat. Yes, KE. Right, so the Facebook group, when you go to the website to go and sign up, there's a form, there's a Google form that you have to complete. And basically that's going to give me all of your information, your name, your Facebook name, the email address that you use to sign up, because I want to be able to match it up to your enrollment. That just makes it easier for me to approve you to get into the group. So yeah, you definitely want to go ahead and complete that form, so that way when your request comes in, I can just go to the form and approve you and get you in. I started approving people into the group this afternoon. Yep. Because all of those questions that we have on the email, we're going to answer all of those questions in the group. This is going to be a meaningful, productive group. And it's a private group. So you won't be able to share any documentation outside of that group. And you guys will have access to exclusive information that I'm not sharing on YouTube. All right, let's see. All right, answered that one. All right, so if you go into the About section of this channel, you should see, click on courses. If you click on courses, it'll take you there. And you're looking for the, right, so the requirements for the Facebook group is you just go and you subscribe, and then you submit your information. So your first name, last name, Facebook name, and email address. And then you have to request to join. That's pretty much it. Let me fix this. This is not what I needed to do. Okay, it's a little bit better. Where are my comments? Uh-oh, I lost my comments. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all can still see me and hear me. I lost my entire chat. It just disappeared. I don't know where it went. Shoot. It was the only thing that I see right. Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it back. That was weird. All right, hold on. Turn this AC down. Okay, yep, we can definitely go over that in the group. And see, that's part of what, you know, that's some of the feedback that I've been getting in terms of all of these different forms. That's why it's good to do it in a group, because there's going to be multiple people in Michigan. There's going to be multiple people in New York, you know, so on and so forth. So once that process is revealed, we're just going to use that as a guide, and anyone can go in and use it as a guide to get their process done. That's the whole point for having the group. This is going to be a focused effort. No BS, no playing around, getting down into the crux of these processes and getting the work done. That's it. That's why there's a fee. And this is going to prevent you from having to book a one-on-one with me. It's going to prevent you from having to do that, because you'll get your questions answered in the group. You'll get it answered in the group. That's it. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm sorry, people. My people. Oh man, and I got some fire for y'all too. I was just waiting for us to just get together in this group. I was just waiting for the group. Oh, hold on a second. Keisha Henry, yes, ma'am. Ready Nation. No, it's separate. All right. Yeah, so that is what is going on. Someone asked me, I keep getting these questions about SPC, Secure Party Creditor. The way that I operate is based on what the law says in terms of the parties, duties, and responsibilities to that transaction. Sometimes it's going to be a secured party. Sometimes it's going to be an obligor. Sometimes it's going to be a beneficiary. It just depends on what's going on. And there's no one way to handle a situation. And so one of the things to know about going into this realm is that you're going to wear many different hats. Depending on what it is you're trying to accomplish is going to depend on which hat you're wearing at that particular time. And so I said this in one of my other videos about people running around calling themselves a secure party creditor. You can't label yourself as a SPC across the board because it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. It depends on what's going on. It just depends on what's going on. Because when you really truly begin to know how to take control of your legal person and operate your legal person like a business, that means that if there's certain things that you're trying to acquire, you're still going to do commerce using your legal person. You're still going to do commerce. So sorry, that was my phone ringing. So when you go to do commerce, you're going to use the legal person. The legal person is the obligor. Now, when you're looking at the billing, when you're looking at 15 USC 1666, the billing error, you have to look at who the law is defining as a creditor and who the law is defining as the debtor. Because if you're trying to do a billing error dispute and you're claiming yourself to be a secure party creditor, especially if you're trying to use the FDCPA, you got to know who you are in that particular transaction. So yeah, you be a SPC when you need to. You be the beneficiary when you need to. You be whoever you need to be, depending on what's going on. That's how you have to. It's like you have to know how to play chess and how to navigate the system. Because remember what I was telling you all before about the driver's license? I don't know if you all remember what I said about the driver's license. If you plan on still doing commerce, you still need your driver's license. Meaning, if you plan on controlling your legal person as the agent to acquire things, you still need your driver's license because they're going to ask you for identification. And if you've taken the necessary steps to change your name, or if you've changed your name from your legal name to an appellation or a spiritual name, then your passport and your driver's license is one represents the private side, one represents the public side. One is the legal person, one is the natural person. So if you're traveling in the Americas and you get pulled over by a policy enforcer and they ask you for your credentials, what are you going to give them? Are you going to give them the driver's license or are you going to give them the passport? So it just depends on how much you want to be bothered. It depends. It just depends. If you're for hire, like if you're truly legit for hire, then that's one thing. But if you're just traveling and you're a natural person with jurisdiction in all 50 states, then that's another thing. So I don't want to get stuck on this SPC and then be trying to use it as a one size fits all for everything that you got going on. I don't agree with that. The other people may teach different, but now I do agree that the documents that process, so like when you go back and read the redemption manual, all of the documents that it told you that you needed to file, those documents are still vitally important, which is why I included some of them as part of the course, because you still have to do certain things to, there's certain things that you have to do to secure the legal person, right? And there are certain things that you have to do to enter into a contract with your legal person and bind him to that contract. So when you go through module or session 1, all of those documents is my interpretation of how exactly to take control of the legal person based on what I've learned, based on part of the secure party process, and other factors of my own understanding, right, that'll work for me. So yeah, it's just, it just depends. It depends on what's going on, y'all. We gotta think broader than that. Yeah, a lot of the times they don't. They don't. But the thing is you got to back them up against a wall where they have no leverage. Back them up against the wall. Because remember, you have, if you go back and read the 15 USC 1635, the rescission, check to see what type of transaction you're doing to see what the rescission requirements are. Right? That's one way that you get them. Then you go and look for, that they give you the option to opt out from consumer credit reporting. That's 15 USC 6802, the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. So that's another issue. And then you got the preservation of consumer rights. That's 16 CFR 433.2. That's another issue. There's ways to, you just got to find out what they did wrong. Find out what they did wrong, and then put in a proof of claim. Wait, hold on. Why does that keep doing that? It keeps making my chat disappear for some reason. Yeah, find out what they did wrong. Yep. Right. What it is, Darla, is that we have to complain to the right people. And that's part of it. My bestie Peter, yes. Yeah, that's like an oxymoron. That's sovereign citizen. That's not. Yeah. Hey, Dessou Fox, it's $14.99 per month. And I don't have the link with me, but I'll definitely drop it in the description after this video renders. That's 15 USC 6802. That's the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. If you go back and read it, it basically states that they're supposed to give you the forms outlining your rights to opt out, telling you how you opt out, and then they have to do it prior to the information being reported. So by the time it shows up on your credit report, they've already violated you, because they were supposed to give you the option to opt out before they even reported it, and they never do it. Yeah, they're supposed to ask you ahead of time, you know, before it even shows up. You know, they violate you every single day. But this is part of the reason why that trademark is important, because that's going to take it to a whole nother level. Because the thing of the matter is, that becomes a matter of money. Because you're already supposed to be being compensated for the use of your legal name. We're already supposed to be being compensated, but the trademark just puts the hammer down. it really does put the hammer down. Like, no wiggle room, no nothing. No wiggle room, no anything. Oh my goodness. So, yep, that's pretty much what's going on. Oh, so yeah, so the legal name change. I don't know if you all remember, if you were in class, the young lady had, it was something going on with her, I believe it was her married name and her maiden name. And it was like, no, it wasn't. It was the name that was on her birth certificate, and then it was the name that she was told to use her entire life. And so it was she said her name was misspelled on her birth certificate. But it was spelled correctly, like on her social security card, her driver's license, and all of that, or something like that. And I just remember telling her, I'm like, man, she was like, so what should I do? Should I change my name to what's on the birth certificate, or should I, and I said, wait a minute. But the crazy thing is that she had a passport in the name that she had been using the whole time. And I said, oh, that's easy. Just do a name change. I said, just do a name change to the name that's on your passport. Because that makes sense. Because the passport name is already in her surname and given name. It's easier for her to just it's easier for her to go and just do the name change with the court to the surname and the given name. Surname and the given name. That's your name. Are you all, why is it, oh, it's not scrolling. I'm so sorry. It wasn't scrolling this whole time. I'm sitting up here like, why is it still on Darla's comment? Okay, let me see. Y'all been talking this whole time. You didn't even tell me. Let's see. An hour ago, I went to consumerlaw. I was trying to get a car, but was turned away because I didn't put it. Wait, hold on. Wait, an hour ago, I went through consumer law with trying to get a car, but was turned away because I didn't put down the down payment, but was approved for. Okay, so that's a matter of. Okay, so you're telling me that you couldn't get the car because you didn't put a down payment down, which is illegal in the first place. So that sounds like you just need to study a little bit more to see how to properly assert yourself, because the down payment is illegal. When you go and look at the definition of the finance charge in Truth in Lending, it says that it does not include any cash type equivalent, but it's the sum of all charges, so it includes everything but cash. So down payments are illegal. And the thing of the matter is, did you do this in the last 3 days? That's K&E Wow Entertainment. Did you do that transaction within the last 3 days? Because what I would do is go and follow UCC on the application if you can get a copy of it. All right, so let me go. But if it was more than 3 days ago, then I've been called a sovereign citizen many times because of my beliefs and my rights. Yeah, but a sovereign citizen, when you look at the definition of those two terms, they don't go together. You can't say that you're a sovereign and a citizen at the same time unless you're a citizen of a sovereign nation, and the United States is not sovereign. Hold on. Thank you. No action story. I'm always on. Go and read the Sell of Goods Act. It's in there. That part. Did you get my question? The question that I just answered, Candy. I think I saw your question. No, still move forward. Don't wait for that, my bestie Peter. Move forward with whatever you have, because the trademark can take up to a year. Yeah, because part of the issue with the down payment, if you would have went in there specifically stating that you wanted to enter into a consumer credit transaction, what that means is that they don't pull your credit. They don't, you don't do any type of credit application at all, because it's not a credit application. It's a consumer credit transaction. There's a difference. I'll drop a list of books, Goddess Alex. And these are just law books. I still have to go through, because I actually brought a stack of encyclopedias back with me from my dad's house when I got back from Buffalo. Those old school encyclopedias too. Remember when they used to sell encyclopedias door to door? I mean, these things go way back. I'm surprised he still have it, but my dad is just like that. He holds on to stuff. But I can't wait to dig into them, because he was telling me a story about a man in the T section of the encyclopedia who was some sort of warrior that had the same last name as mine. I said, what? He said, yeah. He was like, I promise you. He said, go and read the story. He was like, the story is so good. Now, that encyclopedia collection, you remember encyclopedias used to go from, they went from A to Z. They went from A to Z. So I'm gonna end up having to go through each one to see what type of definitions is in there. Or not definitions, but references. I think it'll be good to look at. Oh my goodness, it's already been 45 minutes. You're 22 oh my goodness, you just made me feel super old. Oh, but yes, that's pretty much what used to happen. We had a lot of door-to-door salesmen back in the day, just like you see on TV. People, they were either selling encyclopedias or vacuum cleaners, or they were trying to come and clean your house. Something to get you to buy something. Right, so, but you do know what an encyclopedia is, right? Please tell me you know what an encyclopedia is. Let's see. Pound of Flesh. Okay. I'll definitely look it up. Pound of Flesh by UCLA. Right. That's exactly what happens. So what happens when you go in to complete an application, right? You enter into a consumer credit transaction. So that leads to the installment loan agreement. Now, when you sign the installment loan agreement as the secure party securing that transaction, what happens is when you sign the installment loan agreement and you hand the agreement back to the individual or the company that you're doing business with, you have transferred your security interest back to that company. You signed it away. So in that instant, this is why the definition of credit means rights granted. If you go and look up the definition of credit, it means rights granted. So when you signed the installment loan agreement or the promissory note, and you took that agreement and you handed it back to the person, you transferred your security interest and you granted them the rights to be the creditor. That's what happens when that's literally what happens. So they then have security they then have a security interest in the transaction, but you still have an ownership interest in the transaction, because of the use of the name and the value that you gave to that transaction. So when you rescind certain transactions, in essence, what you're doing is you're pulling back that security interest. You're pulling it back. You're yanking it back. You're snatching it back from them back to yourself so that you can receive payment. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I still can't remember. She said, I'm 22 and I don't remember that. Yeah, they're see, a lot of the information in encyclopedias, some of that stuff you may not even find online, because they scrub the internet from all the good stuff. It's a lot of stuff that you can't find online. Man, listen. Listen, Divine Legacy, I'm not fooling with you. I'm not fooling with you. Somebody, I don't know why people think I'm younger than what I am, but I'm middle aged. I am middle aged, y'all. Like, seriously. I just look young. I don't know why. My skin is not I still got, it's not that bad, but I still got blemishes and stuff on my skin. But that's just, I've gotten more spots on my skin over the years. My skin used to be super, super smooth and just silky. Yeah. That is so funny. Are you speaking in reference to 16 CFR 433.2? Darla? Thank you. Yes, we do. We do. Yes. It's a gift. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna go over to TikTok and I'm gonna try out that green filter. What you think? They say that it look real good on us melanated folks. There's a lot of people over there doing videos with that green Hulk filter. I said, oh, I want to get in on this, and I don't usually do trends on TikTok at all. But I just want to see what I look like with green skin. Man, and it's amazing because somebody said on TikTok, they said, how you wear jewelry and it makes what it does is it turns your skin green. And I'm listening, I'm like thinking in my head, yes, I remember wearing fake jewelry or that costume jewelry and it made your skin turn green. Do you know what she said? She said that is the copper or whatever the element is in the jewelry bringing out your body's natural color. I said, oh, just blew my mind. It really just blew my mind. They be dropping some high science over there on TikTok. Like, seriously, they really do. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to go right like that, but I am middle-aged. Yep, sure I am. In a charge-off for a car loan, can the bank repo afterwards? What? Not even likely. The charge-off for a car loan, we'll have to see what's in the paperwork. That's a loaded question. It doesn't sound right. It seems like they would have taken the car back way before it's gotten to a state of being charged off. Okay, so that is all going back to 15 USC 6802D. To answer your question, everything starts from there. Because the thing of the matter is that before we even get to the point of you reporting late payments on my consumer report, let's talk about the fact that you're not even supposed to be reporting in the first place. Where are the copies of the disclosures that you gave me that gave me the option to opt out from credit reporting before it was initially reported? I don't remember seeing those forms. You can't talk to me about what's there until you talk to me about my privacy. That question of privacy is always going to be the first conversation. All right, now listen, y'all getting deep into these questions. Now listen, go and sign up for the Facebook group. Why do it turn your skin green? It oxidizes the copper. So wait, I make copper jewelry, and that is not why it turns your skin green. It's reacting with your sweat, and it oxidizes. That makes sense. It oxidizes the copper. So like if I wear a copper bracelet on my wrist and my arm is sweating underneath the jewelry, it'll still turn my skin green, right? I'm just saying. What did she say? I remember her saying jewelry, or like costume jewelry, or I just remember it was something that you wear on your body. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. It was just very interesting. All right. Let me see if I can find the link. Hold on one second. I'll see if I'm trying to see exactly where I can comment. Can you all still see me? I don't even think it'll let me. I'm trying to see how I put a comment. I can see the little comment icon, but I can't see how to add a comment on my own. That is so weird. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see where it allows me to drop anything in the chat. Right, but I can't see where. Yeah, I can't figure it out. It doesn't give me anywhere to make a comment inside of the chat. Well, I'll drop it in there after this video renders. So yeah, I would definitely go ahead and get in. It's gonna be intense pretty much for the rest of the year. Yep, gonna have to go watch the replay for that. All right, peace and love, y'all. My business partner just pulled up, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and I will definitely put the resources in the description, just like I always do, and I will see you all in the Facebook group. Get in the Facebook group. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love. Peace.